Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about CM Punk, or his real name is Phil Brooks, joining the WWE. Now, I'm aware of the fact that not many people who subscribe to my channel are fans of WWE or CM Punk, but I want to share my thoughts in relationship to him being a personal brand, in relationship to being a very gifted and talented individual, but who is at an age, he's actually my age, he is around 45, and how your choices change, how your decisions change, especially with the checkered past that Phil Brooks has, and also what do I think is going to happen next. So if this topic of CM Punk joining the WWE is of interest, do watch it. If not, well, maybe you would want to watch it in terms of personal branding or knowing how people evolve over time. Okay. In case you're new to the channel, name is Loy Machedo, personal branding strategist. I specialize in helping people get well-paying jobs in Dubai, UAE, also Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman. And people also book my services for coaching consulting when they want advice, guidance, or a different opinion on personal and professional issues, when they are afraid or they feel they cannot share it with anyone else. I have 7,000 videos. You can check my opinions on different subjects. Okay, so I'm one of those 80s wrestling fans. Okay, given that I'm 46 years old and I was born in 1977, in the 80s, wrestling was at its peak. We literally, because there was no internet, there was no social media, we all thought wrestling was real. Okay, the term kayfabe didn't exist, so we used to actually think that there are these good guys, there are these bad guys, and they actually hate each other and they're going to hit each other. And we thought what would happen in the squared ring, that was the squared circle, the ring where they so-called fight, was actually real. Okay, and you would win or you would lose based on merit. Okay, I know it sounds very silly. Today you can look and I'm sure the new generation, if they hear this, they'll be like, ha ha ha, you're so stupid or what? Believe it or not, literally everybody believed that wrestling was real. It was a closely guarded secret. It was very sacred if you wanted to be part of the industry. So much so that there was a government investigation into wrestling. And then I think it was when Vince McMahon realized that things were going out of hand, especially with the government's involvement. He publicly declared that wrestling is scripted, which was shocking. Shocking was not the word. I mean, no reporter or nobody wanted to leak out the secret that they would show that they hate each other outside, but inside, in the locker room, they would be talking like friends. Okay. I think the one logic that people never thought about is this is a company, these are the employees. They never looked at it that way. They looked at it as if, okay, this superstar wants to fight this guy. So anyway, you get the idea. And also, given the fact that we didn't know it at the time, but they would have blood coming down their face, which later on we came to know. It's called blading. They would take a blade and just hit like this, and this part of the body bleeds pretty profusely with very less Even with even a small cut, you'll bleed profusely. But obviously, they are trained professionals. Please don't try it. Okay. But then there is another branch of wrestling which is called hardcore wrestling. I want you to Google search, but be careful when you see that. It's very, very graphic. Now, over there also, even though it is planned, they break bottles, glass. They even hammer like a wood with many nails in it. They hit and hammer on people's faces, and it's pretty gruesome. Huh? You'll see men, women, children actually watching this gruesome, and actual blood is coming out, actual scars. And one of them, they even show that there was a tendon tear and blood was just oozing out. Oof, it's too much. Even me, where I can see all this, like barbed wires, electric, this thing, the cattle prod and all that. So some of it is pretty graphic. In fact, I'll just say one more sentence about this hardcore wrestling and then move. There was one Vice documentary where they showed, like I told you, wood with nails, multiple nails. He hammers it on this bald guy's head, and then like he loses the match. They had planned that he would lose a match, but then after that he has to get it out, and it is wedged so deep into his skull, they are unable to get it out. Like they are literally using metal pliers and this and that. You should really see it. So anyway, so wrestling, when we realized wrestling was not real, it came as a shock. Came as a shock to so many people. In fact, even me, I was such a hardcore fan. Okay, so now having said that, the term that is particularly used is called kayfabe. Okay, where they are putting on an act as if they hate each other. The most famous rivalries were like, I can give you one: Bret the Hitman Hart versus his brother. Now they both came from the same family. They both loved each other, but in the ring they would show that one brother, Bret, who was the champion, his younger brother is jealous, and I used to always think it was very real, that the jealousy was very real, and he hated him so much. But the reality was they both loved each other like crazy. In fact, one of the interviews Bret the Hitman Hart gives is saying that we were scheduled to perform at a particular place in USA, and because they're traveling through airports, so obviously people recognize them as superstars. So they had glasses, they had a cap. So he was sitting one side, his brother was sitting the other side, and they were just whispering to each other. Okay, like they were just talking, and then suddenly one lady passed by and said, like she identified both of them. She recognized, and she said, "Oh my goodness! So you both don't actually hate each other. You both." So he was like, he got caught in the act, and she almost had tears in her eyes, because she was like, she was telling them that I used to always pray that you brothers should love each other, not hate each other. So it proved to be a very pivotal point. Now, the reason why I'm sharing all this with you is one of the greatest um, promos. Promos are where a wrestler talks on the microphone, like The Rock. If you see Rock promo skills on YouTube, the way he used to play around with the microphone, and even Stone Cold Steve Austin, they had a gift of the gab, like Hulk Hogan, brother, and all that. So many people, many wrestlers had a very different style. But CM Punk, this guy Phil Brooks, the most famous promo that he ever gave was the pipe bomb, which you have to watch it. You have to watch it to really experience. I mean, he was so frustrated with the company that he took a microphone, and the urban legend has it like some people, many people in the production, because obviously, lights and sounds and all that in the wrestling match that is going on, uh, he took the microphone. So people are like, the production team, which is at the back end, they were like confused. Okay, he's coming. Maybe there's something we don't know as per the schedule. So they put the microphone on. And he went and sat down, and he started to, you really have to hear this, huh? And he started to bitch about the company. He spoke about the owner. He spoke about the owner's daughter, Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, that is his daughter. He spoke of Triple H, who was his son-in-law. And what confused people, what shocked people was what he was saying was, it didn't sound scripted for the simple reason that everyone was aware of the fact. See, by this time, everyone knew that these were all scripted matches, but they were also aware because information kept leaking as to this guy hates this guy is not in good terms with the management, and they are trying to renegotiate the contract. So these were real life incidents that were happening. But when you're in the ring, you don't talk about these financial issues or legal issues or problems with the boss. You are playing a character. Like Undertaker is like the dead man, he resurrects to life. That doesn't happen in the real world. But CM Punk, with the character that he was playing, he was as this rebellious bad guy. He started bringing in the legal issues or the financial issues or the contractual issues that he had with WWE. He spoke about the animosity that he had with the owner, which was true. He spoke about the politics that the son-in-law, that is Triple H, was involved in. He even berated the owner's daughter of having an affair with the son-in-law, and how Triple H, became the most important guy in the company because of his daughter. So he kind of blurred the lines between, is he playing an act or is he really insulting the company? Because he was really washing dirty laundry publicly. Just imagine, like, let's say, I'll give you an example just to make you understand. Let's say, for example, I'm a wrestler. Think it's a company. You're a wrestler, I'm a wrestler. We're in a company, and let's say the owner's daughter was sleeping around with another wrestler. Okay. And everyone knows this, but nobody's talking about it. And, let's give her name as Stephanie. And I take the microphone. I'm supposed to speak on my match, but instead of that, I say, okay, wait, stop, guys, stop. There's something I need to get off my chest, and this is not me playing the character, okay? That female, Stephanie, who is the owner's daughter, she's, fucking that other guy. And this is not script. This is real, okay? She's actually doing that. And you guys who are paying money to watch the show, you're jumping because I put on an act that I'm fighting with this guy, which is all an act. So now you as an audience, you're like, man, is he really, like, he has told everyone that this is an act, what he's doing. He's unhappy with the company. He wants to leave. So this is what Phil Brooks did, CM Punk did. And I'll tell you, it was so shocking. He became a legend after that. Okay? WWE tried its level best to keep him, but there are some people who are very hard to get along, and he had built-in frustration, and they broke off. They ended the contract. But what made it most painful, and every WWE fan knows this, on his wedding day, just imagine that he's, he doesn't want to work with this company unless his terms and conditions are met. On his wedding day, he got a letter stating, you are fired. You have lost your job on his wedding day. This is one of the most infamous moments. Very controversial. And the owner of the company, he was asked, like, did you actually do that, man? On a guy's wedding day, you told him that I'm kicking you out of the company or whatever. So they denied, but, CM Punk was like, and it hurt him so badly that he publicly made a promise he would never work with this company. Never, ever. And this is nearly 10 years ago. Okay. And ever since, everyone kept speculating that he would come back, but he never joined even a competitor, and there were hardly any competitors at that time. Finally, when AEW came into existence, there were always rumors that one day he might join them. He did take on the role as an ESPN commentator, but he didn't officially join the WWE. And the most sad or embarrassing stint that he pulled, or the stunt that he pulled, was he tried to become a mixed martial arts professional. Everyone thought that he would dominate because he portrays a character in WWE like he's super. He's a superhuman. He can learn anything, do anything, dominate anything. But once he joined MMA, or rather UFC, it became very evident that he's just human. He's a normal human being, but with great mic skills. So he flopped very badly. And just think about it. For 10 years, you're not working. You have enough money where you can live a life of your dreams. He tried MMA, he failed. He tried it for 2.5, 3 years. Finally, he joined AEW, All Elite Wrestling, which was the new competitor. Tony Khan was the owner, is the owner. So the Khan family, who are billionaires, they launched AEW. When he joined there, it was like, wow, man, the whole world, like, they've been waiting for 10 years. But after he joined them, the excitement was like, imagine the peak was so high. And he tried to maintain it by still being the rebellious person. But now what has happened is, see, you have a moment in your life where you are at the peak. But then, when you are competing against very talented, very gifted people, especially in the media, especially in the entertainment industry, jealousy and envy is very, very high. And nobody wants to kiss your ass and worship you. Maybe audience, fans would do that. But two talents, they would hate each other because each one is trying to outdo the other. So there were other people also who thought, you think you're great? Even I think I'm great. You're not a legend. So egos clashed, but they thought they could actually work. In fact, Tony Khan used to literally sit with CM Punk when he used to have press conferences. And he even admitted that it was his dream, that was the pinnacle of AEW to get him. Okay. So it was at its peak. But then he started to have ego clashes with different people. He became very hard to work with. And then obviously people started ganging up against him. And I'm not saying that he was innocent, neither am I saying that he is bad. We can only know what information is outside. Eventually, it came to such a point where CM Punk started to do things which even the public didn't like bringing up old issues, using political influence to throw people out and all that. And it came to such a boiling point that just this year itself, the guy who bought him in, the owner, who's a multi-billionaire, he said, I'm afraid of my life. I'll lose my life by this guy because he tried to attack me. So things went so bad and he got suspended many times. And so finally, and people were wondering, is this drama? Is this real? Like, because you don't know which part is real, which part is fake. But finally, when he made an official, I think it was a tweet or message on X, that, we have ended his contract. We're no longer working with him, blah, 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 finished. And it was sad. I don't know if I put up a video, but I did say that, end of the road, man. See, as you get older, your body doesn't hold up that much. And remember, you can't be at the top forever. You can't have the top ratings forever. There are new talents. People's tastes change. Like the madness, the ferocity by which people were addicted to WWE or wrestling, or they thought it was real. Today it's dying. Today it's very hard to maintain it. Today it's become very commercial with too many ads and all that. People know that these are scripted so-called fights. Okay, but even though it's scripted, they are professional athletes who do stunts live, which can literally break your neck, to make you paralyzed, to even rip your bone out of your flesh, the flesh out of the bone. It's pretty dangerous. You should see their stunts. Some of them, like in the Survivor series, this female, Charlotte, she does a backflip from 15 feet up in the air. And she's a tall girl. She is, I think 6 feet. 15, like 12, 15 feet in the air with no safety, this thing. And wrestlers down have to catch you. You can break something, man. Would you take a risk of jumping from your own height, just doing a backflip? No, not possible. I mean, in fact, just jumping from a height, if you are crossed 40, you can have solid damage on your legs, on your body. The body is not meant to bounce around, especially when you're older, especially when you cross after 35, 40. Okay. So there were rumors that CM Punk would appear on Survivor Series. All news channels, every WWE fan based channel, every news article, they speculated this. Okay. Uh, and I'll tell you, when I checked today and I saw the video highlights, I don't see the whole wrestling, I just see highlights. It seems that after all the matches were over, towards the end, CM Punk's music played, and obviously the audience went berserk. They went crazy. It's like the second coming of Christ. Now, obviously, they had kept total secrecy. Paul Levesque, or Triple H, the CEO of the company, currently CEO, it seems that he ironed out the details between CM Punk and him. They did it all in a week. Now, they are obviously, the reasons to bring him is, it's a business. They're selling his merchandise. They make money. He makes money. They know for a fact he has solid brand value. People either hate him or love him, but they are talking about him. So that is good for the business. And, he brings in a lot of eyeballs. Even news channels are talking about it. If you just type in Google search CM Punk, you have BBC, Wrestling Inc., Bleachers Report. I mean, they are just going crazy. The Standard, Ringside News, almost all outlets that talk about wrestling are talking about him. And I mean, being a wrestling fan, even if you're a casual one, people talk about it. Okay. So what do I think now? What do I think is, see, he's 45 years old. Okay. Triple H is 54. Now, obviously, they used to hate each other 10 years ago, but 10 years, things cooled down. Now, one of the key reasons why he joined is obviously to stick it to AEW, to show them the middle finger. You thought I was gone. I'm still here. A little bit of ego clashes there. And yes, when you are working and your pride and your emotions are involved, you are not going to take things sitting down. And he's also aware of the fact that, his age, 45, as you get older, you know that I need to make as much money as I can. I need to capitalize on this because it's a passing phase. Now, I'm sincerely hoping that he doesn't mess up what he did with AEW. I have a very strong feeling that Triple H would ensure that his contract has a clause. It seems that he has signed a long-term contract. He has had a clause whereby if you do leave or you fight or something like that, there will be a penalty. And I'm pretty sure he must have mentioned you cannot raise your hands on staff and other people legally, because it seems that he raised his hand and he had a fight. There are many people, many talents in WWE who are unhappy about him because obviously ego and each talent wants to be promoted. They don't give a damn whether you're super. Like if in your office, you are looking for a promotion, you are looking for a salary increment, you don't give a damn whether your colleague is getting or not, you want to get. So it's same like that. So the hope is he will make things work out in WWE and they will know how to handle him in the proper way. And yes, that he will at least survive at least for another 5 years, hopefully 5 years, 10 years. Would AEW want him back? 5 years, 10 years, things cool off and people change. So obviously when the contract is up for renewal, maybe. Because remember, Cody Rhodes, also if you're a wrestling fan, you would know that Cody Rhodes left with a very bad terms. And he set up AEW and he did come back also. And there are wrestlers, Vince McMahon and WWE is known for, even if you have very bad blood, like Hulk Hogan tried to throw Vince McMahon under the bus and expose him as supplying steroids, and he betrayed him very badly. But still, Vince McMahon bought him back because he's a businessman. He doesn't keep emotions and feelings. Like if it was you or me, we would always harbor that emotions and feelings. But business people who are really business savvy, they don't. So I'm hoping that CM Punk makes it work sincerely makes it work. And I hope they give him good storylines because wrestling is all about storylines. It's not about the action in the ring. And I hope they use the talent in the right way. He is a very gifted, talented wrestler. He has tried other sports and avenues and he has failed, MMA and all that. I'm just hoping that they give him a good role. They relate a good story. He will make a lot of money, that is for sure. A lot of merchandise will sell. A lot of, because now if you see WWE, there's ruffles and there are these chips and crisps and how many advertisements. I mean, you literally look at wrestling, it's no longer like what it used to be. There's so many product placements. It's crazy. It's become too much. Well, obviously, Triple H, who has taken over the reins of the company, he wants to make sure that it's a profitable company because now it's public. It's under the TKO banner with UFC, MMA, So, anyway, what do you think? Do you think CM Punk is going to, this time, do it properly? Do you think his run will go well? What do you think? Let me know your thoughts because I really thought that AEW was going to be his last foray, and he was going to stick with AEW. I never thought he was going to bungle up or just totally mess up the legacy that he built with the AEW. So I just hope this time he sorts things out. Anyway, that is my take on the matter. Let me know what do you think, and if you're a wrestling fan, please do put on your thoughts and comments below. And me as a dedicated WWE fan and also someone who's very involved in personal branding, I would be paying close attention and seeing how well does he do. Anyway, these are my thoughts. Let me know what are yours. This is me signing off. You guys take care.